Ah, 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 ah. Yeah, well, I'm doing a review, and Jessie couldn't be here, so my daughter's favorite toy, her cuddle buddy, wanted to join, so if I get on the camera, there it is. Ah! Slimer, of course, yeah. True story. Hi everybody, it's Amanda here, your Cutie of Carnage, here on another episode on Channel Sundown. I was going to wear my glasses for this review, but this light is making the glare really bad, so we're going to take those off until I need them to read, but I'm not going to be reading, so there we go. Just take them off. Somebody was going to be like, take off those glasses, the glare is bad. I've been asked worse. Today, we do not have Jesse with us because Jesse had some things he had to take care of. We send him well wishes and love and all that jazz. He's my best friend, but he's like my only friend really. Except for you guys. You guys are my friends, so write that down. I have not been able to really film a lot of videos because I just got over being sick. Yes, I was sick and I got over it. So I'm back now. So yes, thank you guys for being so patiently waiting for me to do a video because it's been a minute. Today we're doing a review of Little Monsters. Little Monsters is directed by Abe Forsythe. And if you guys have not heard of this film yet, it's been talked about a lot and it is streaming right now on Hulu, and I've been waiting a little while to see, and I finally watched it and I have a bunch to say. Yes, and nobody else is here, so it's gonna be just me and you talking about this film because I have a lot to say about it. You can write some of these down if you guys want to. It's your personal choice. Little Monsters stars Lupita Nyong'o. And you guys might remember her. She's the Oscar winner from 10 Years Slave. You might remember her from Us. Alexander England, who plays Uncle Dave. And of course, Josh Gad, who plays Teddy McGiggle. Teddy McGiggle. What a name is that, huh? When the film starts off, you meet Dave. Dave is an aspiring musician who's having issues with his girlfriend. Like, they're fighting a lot, like chaotic boom. Like, they do not get along at all. And needless to say, they collide enough that Dave ends up moving out and staying with his sister and her little son, Felix. So in the film, they girlfriend him, break up, they get in a fight, and then he goes and stays with his sister and her little son. And that is funny enough in itself. So when it starts off, you're seeing all the issues he's having with his girlfriend, and a lot of stuff happens, and Felix, and that kind of stuff. Like we said, this is a non-spoiler review, so we're not going to get into any details that go too in-depth with it. But they get in a fight, Dave goes and stays with his sister, and like I said, I'm repeating myself again, but his sister tells him, okay, well, if you're going to be staying here, you need to do more around the house, and you're going to take my son to school. So one day, Dave decides to take Felix to school, and when he goes to school, he meets and sees Miss Caroline. As you guessed it, Miss Caroline is a very, very beautiful teacher, very hot teacher that he's just like, oh my god, she is so pretty. And when he's sitting there like trying to kind of like, you know, get the moves on her and stuff, you find out that one of the parents got sick and they are no longer able to chaperone a trip that they're doing to a petting zoo kind of place. So Dave does the one thing that guys do is jump right in and be like, hey, I'll chaperone, I'll do it. Any way to get close to Miss Caroline, hey, I'll do it. So he does end up being a chaperone to the children and their trip to the petting zoo. So yeah, petting zoo farm place. So Dave and Miss Caroline accompany all these kids to this petting zoo, and when they show up, they find out Mr. Teddy McGiggle famous child star host on, I'm guessing it's Nickelodeon, or yeah, it is Nickelodeon. They show up and they find out he's there filming an episode, so Dave is already like, what the hell did I get myself into? So he gets there and he sees Mr. McGiggle and stuff, and they get there and the kids run around. There's a bunch of tourists and whatnot, like they're going around petting the stuff and everything. Well, petting the animals, they're not just petting the stuff. Like, that's a whole different other movie. So nearby is an army base, an American army base, and some things happen, and anyways, long story short, without getting into detail and I'll not spoil the review, a zombie outbreak occurs. Okay, a zombie outbreak occurs in that little area. So they all get stuck on this petting zoo. All the kids and Dave and Miss Caroline are all stuck in this little hut of a souvenir shop, and they have to figure out how to get their way out of there. And what's really funny about it is that they decide to Miss Caroline decides to keep the kids calm and stuff, to keep them from being scared. They decide to make a game out of it. So all the kids think it's this game. So they're going around telling the kids, hey, they're it, you know, don't let them get you and stuff. So they turn into a giant game. And Miss Caroline spends a lot of the time kind of easing the children and making it very kind of mystical. And they sit there on the installation that they're at, and they have to figure out how to get the kids out and keep the kids calm and not get eaten alive by zombies. First thing is first, we're going to talk about the acting. I actually was really pleased with the acting. Of course, Lupita Nyong'o, she was nominated for an Oscar, and you know, she was fantastic in Us. So she is awesome in this film. Not just because, I mean, if you're a hero, you're going to be a hero, but I liked how she kind of switched up and down and she was realistic within a situation. But she also played nicely and friendly very well. But when she needed to be a bitch, she was a bitch. Let's just put it that way. So yeah. And Josh Gad, Mr. McGiggle, was hilarious. He was hilarious. And, of course, he used a lot of the kind of, I'm famous, so I should be escorted out of here, and there should be a helicopter coming to get me. And he's full of himself, and it was fantastic. But at the same time, it was also, like, realistic, where you're like, okay, if somebody was famous, they probably would act that way. So my pros for the film is actually going to be, I like how Miss Caroline, I liked how she was bad when she needed to be bad and good when she needed to be good. So one of my pros is I was actually really impressed with how she was in a horror film. Because, I mean, like we said, I'll say it again, we've seen her in Us, you know, she's a really gifted actress. So in this film, she was very relatable in a standpoint to where you think she's this person, and then there's other layers to make her more believable. Like I said, this is really hard to say because I'm not going to give too much away because I don't want to give it all away. But you kind of find out, because you put her up here and you put kind of like everybody down here, then you kind of realize that they all kind of level with each other. The characters on the same point in the same atmosphere. So that's what I really liked about it. And another thing I loved is, you guys know I have a 4-year-old. And ever since I had my child, it wasn't until I had my child, I have a little issue with seeing, not just any kids, but seeing kids like ripped apart and eaten, what have you, you know, all that sort. But there's a few parts in the film that I literally was sitting there and I saw a kid and I was just like, God, that kid, just let it go, let the kid run, like the kid's a little brat. Like the scene he's sitting there screaming, I'm just like, ah, just throw him out, like, oh, he's gonna get all y'all killed. But yeah, that's just me, on the old fashioned, but yeah. Right when I said that, the AC like cut off, so that's kind of funny how like it went from brrr, then I said we should have threw the kid out, and then also my AC goes brrr. Like I just got my AC depressed. The cons that I have for the film, I really don't have many cons. And this con is really kind of not really totally true, but the only con I had is, I'm not going to give this scene away, but there's a couple of scenes where I was like, really? and that's kind of out of whack. But like I said, the main con I'm gonna have to say is, I'm not gonna tell you why, but after I saw this film, I kept playing Hanson in my head over and over again. Hanson was stuck in my head the whole freaking day, and a little bit this morning. Like, I just, And I rewatched it again. I shouldn't have done that because I was making my notes, and now I'm playing Bop is stuck in my head. But anyways, that's a personal problem. I'll deal with it. Being that's my con, my main only con. I really don't have much cons of the film because honestly, it is what it is. It's a zombie film. It's a zombie film about a little area that's invaded by zombies, and you know, it is what it is. So everything that's like negative, you can't really judge it too much on that level because it is what it is. It's a zombie film. But I had more pros than cons. The only con I had is Bop stuck in my head forever. But other than that, my verdict is I really like this movie. A few friends that I talked to about this movie were like, oh, I wish it would have been more, you know, gore. I wish they would have ate the kids and stuff like that and ate more kids. I'm not going to say spoilers, right? More kids. But they were like, I wish it would have been more of like a 28 Days Later kind of thing. And I was like, no, it is what it is. It's a child atmosphere invaded by zombies. And I thought it was really cool. And I liked how like they didn't have all the kids to be great. You didn't like all the kids. You really didn't. Some of the kids were like, and I think they did that on purpose. I think a lot of the kids were like, oh, they want this kid so annoying so that you could throw them to the zombies and just be like, go away. Anyways, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because, you know, I'm a good person. I wouldn't throw kids to zombies. Well, at least not my kids. Anyway, so like I said, my verdict is I really like this film. It was funny. The ending was good. Everything was good about it. I really liked it for what it was. Like I said, one of my favorite, I'm not going to say my favorite zombie film because a lot of people in countdown before for zombie films, everybody kept saying 28 Days Later. And I'm sorry, but 28 Days Later is not a zombie film. It's an infection film. They all were infected with the rage virus. Anyways, but that's a debate in itself. That's a whole other video. But anyways, yeah, I liked Little Monsters and I thought it was great. And I really wish I would have saw, I don't think it was in the theaters. I don't think so. Because you guys know my memory is not too good, so I don't remember things. But I just remember I had it on my calendar that it comes out on Hulu, and I was like, I'm going to watch it. And I've been wanting to watch it. And I suffer from the thing where I watch trailers, and the trailer is better than the film. And in this case, that is not true. No. The film is just as good as the trailer. So yeah, y'all should check it out. Okay guys, well that concludes my review of Little Monsters. But yeah, I have a lot of videos coming up. Like I said, I've been a little behind with posting stuff because I've been yeah. And then my little one's been and then I had doctor's appointments and what have you. So, but guys, I'm getting back to it. Slowly but surely, I'm getting back to it, guys. So, thank y'all for looking out. Do you guys like Little Monsters? Did I leave anything out? Let me know. Comment below. Below. Oh, that sounds so demented and dark. Below. Comment below. Don't forget that I seek approval. This channel seeks approval. So do not forget to like, if I can point at it, like, and subscribe. Like and subscribe. But until next time, guys, bye. I don't think my hands, I gotta wave like this now. I know you guys don't hear this, but my neighbors are loud and it sounds like they're hitting a dog outside. I don't know.